Hi, my name's Will and welcome to the Distorted Transmission for today. I'm talking to an old friend, a guy called Jason McIver. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
What are you drinking tonight? Looks like you've been drinking a little bit.
I'm drinking Hop Federation Rewaka beer. I can't remember what it is. It's delicious though.
I wrote a little blurb, so I'm going to read the blurb now because I have a stutter and I'm terrible at enunciating. So here we go. I first met you when I filmed your band Heathen Eyes in July 2013 at the King's Arms. Not long after that, Heathen Eyes disbanded, and during a messenger chat, I offered you the position of vocalist in Primacy, and from there we played together for about 5 years, I think. I also played drums for you in your solo folk rock project, the Jason McIver Collective, and we got to play on TV, and we got to play on the radio, which is very cool. So we have had a relatively long and varied history, which spanned, I guess, around 7 years in total. But yeah, here we are again, sort of back at the beginning, if you will, to discuss Heathen Eyes again, as well as your new band project. So let's kick it off with a brief touch on the Heathen Eyes stuff. What's the deal there?
The deal is finally getting the tracks together for the EP we were crowdfunding. There was weird rumors going around that I took the crowdfunding money and I spent it on tattoos and all this random shit. And so when my Gmail account finally filled up and told me I couldn't email one anymore, I had to go through the backlog of emails, and I found a couple of unmastered MP3s of some sessions from York Street and Roundhead. And then I kind of got sparked into wanting to put the EP together and actually get it out there and show people that I didn't spend the money on tattoos.
Right.
Yeah.
How many tracks was it in total?
There was 5 tracks. 2 of the tracks were released and finished, mastered and finished. 2 of the tracks were tracked and not mastered, and then 1 track wasn't finished. So I've taken the 4 tracks, mastered 2 of them for another person, taken a live demo, remastered that, taken the original single for OSHA, put that on there, and another demo that we remastered, or that was mastered via COG, and made it a 7-track EP, basically.
For the preparation for this interview, I actually watched OSHA just a little, maybe about half an hour ago, and it's pretty cringe. I mean, the video's good, but your hairstyle, and your eyeliner and stuff. When I saw it at the time, it looked perfectly fine, but now 10 years on, it's a little bit
dated badly. That's why you go on with $200 budget, op shop clothes, and a limited palette of fashion. Yeah, but Chris looked great.
I actually chatted to Chris recently because his band States are doing a few things, and I had an interview with him about maybe, I don't know, three or 4 months ago. Is he pleased about the Heathen Eyes release?
We just want to, I think everyone's just keen to have it on streaming platforms, to have it listenable when they want. Not to be, some mastered, some unmastered, some kind of MP3s and some waves, and so it's going to be refreshing.
Some closure on it.
I think so. I'm looking forward to some closure, because I mean, without sounding like someone that's stewing, because I definitely wasn't stewing, but I've definitely been like, I just, I've wanted to release it for a very long time. Yeah. And a friend of mine put $500 into their campaign, and nothing came out of it. So I felt like I had to give him something at least.
When are you actually planning to release that? We did talk about when this interview might go out, and it might be 2 or 3 weeks from today, today is the 23rd of November, so it might come out later than the actual release. But when is the release?
We're looking at about the end of the month. So it's been uploaded and submitted currently, and we're just waiting for it to be delivered to all the partners, and then it should be up by the end of November.
And of course, it'll be a digital release, right? So it'll be on Spotify and all those sort of things. It's not going to be a physical release at all.
Not physical release, but I would recommend people go to Tidal to appreciate the finer, streaming qualities and the higher royalty shares.
Fair enough. I've kind of known you as a vocalist for the entire time that I've known you. I knew that when you were living in Taupo, like you bought an old Pearl drum set, and you were, was it a Mapex? I think it was a Mapex.
I was on Mapex, yeah.
And you sort of started bashing away on drums as opposed to playing, singing. And it seems that like now you've actually become a drummer in a band. So when we're actually like texting backwards and forwards to like arrange this interview, you said, I'll see if the vocalist wants to come along as well to chat. And I was like, I was a little bit taken aback. Maybe he's kind of like lost the plot. But you're not the vocalist, so it's interesting. So tell me about that.
Well, I started getting drum lessons when I was 16, but I didn't take it very far. And then I guess when I got to Taupo, I started playing way more in my spare time, like probably every day. And getting up here, I decided that I quit playing gigs for a while because I was gigging like 3 or 4 times a week. So I quit doing that and just said I'm not going to sing or play guitar. I just want to play the drums for a while and kind of start enjoying music as a hobby again. So I met up with some people that I had previously played with when I was a teenager, and they needed a drummer. And we decided to start playing some weird punky, rock and rolly, quirky original music. It's been fun.
I mean, not that genres really matter, but can you kind of pinpoint it down to a rough style?
It's real hard to do that, to be honest. And people say that, but I'm not even being vague. There's some songs that are kind of ska based, some songs that are more in the punk vein, some are like grungy, and others are kind of alternative pop grunge.
Okay.
With 2 singers, a female vocalist and a male vocalist. Lisa writes songs, Glenn writes songs. The bass player, Joe, is the drummer in my grunge tribute band. And we kind of we're just Mortworkers musicians.
Let's rewind a little bit. What's the name of the band and who's in the band? I guess we should specify that first.
Yes. So Gutter Love is the band I drum for, which is Glenn Bathgate on vocals and guitar, Lisa Gruner on vocals, Joe Pormana on bass, and myself, as I said, on drums. And it's Gutter Love, which is kind of fits with the theme of the songs. They're usually kind of quite dirty love songs, and Glenn and Lisa kind of sing them at each other. So it becomes kind of this flirty, kind of sexy, but kind of a little bit, fuck, did he just sing that to her kind of thing as well. So, but it's fun. It's heaps of fun playing drums. Even though, like, I definitely, if it was someone else playing the drums the way I'm playing them, I'd probably get pissed off at them a little bit. Yeah.
Why was that?
I've been really blessed, and you're in this group as well, Will, is that I've had really good drummers, and my favorite drummers are really good drummers, and I am not as good as the drummers I've played with or the drummers I listen to at all.
But I guess every drummer's journey is kind of that kind of situation. All the drummers I like, I'm not as good as. So yeah. I guess that's.
But you can still, like, you can say I'm inspired by a drummer, and you like, I remember you were inspired for a Primacy song by a Death Groove, and so you did justice to your version of that Death Groove. But if I was trying to do my version of, say, a Danny Carey thing or a Jimmy Chamberlain thing, people would say, God, he's fucking that groove up, kind of thing.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's move on from the self-loathing.
Okay.
Is God Love planning to sort of release music, or is there anything you can sort of fill me in on the future of the band, if you will?
We keep talking about recording. We've got people that will record us, and we've got money set aside for recording. I think we're just kind of working on getting the right songs to record, and getting everything to the point where we feel like we're ready to do that. But it's definitely in the future. Kind of thinking, like, do we go ska, do we go the punk, do we go the poppier ones? Is it a Glenn song? Is it a Lisa song? Who knows?
So how many songs do you actually have at the moment to like work from?
15, to be honest.
Okay, that's decent.
Yeah. It was pretty scary. The first gig we done with them, I had a jam, and then they said, cool, we've got a gig in 3 weeks. And I said, cool, do you guys have any demos I can listen to? And they said no. There's no demos. We're just going to have 2 band practices a week for 3 weeks, and hopefully you'll have 7 or 8 songs ready for this gig. And then Joe came in 2 weeks after I joined. I think he had 8 days or something to learn that many songs on bass, and which he did as well. And the gig went down all right.
Cool.
So it was good. Yeah, reassuring that as you get older, it's easier to gel musically with people, I guess.
Fear is a great motivator.
Oh, yeah, I practiced a lot. I'm glad I've got an electronic kit.
All right, cool. Well, that's probably about all the time we have for tonight. But I thought just as we sign off, is there anything else you'd like to add to the interview?
Yeah, so I'm also doing a project, a grunge tribute, a project called the Long Earth Theory. And that's on Facebook. We're also working on some original stuff, which is outside of that, but can be blended in. So there's Gotta Love, Long Earth Theory, Heathen Eyes EP coming out end of November. Based out of old Nelson Town these days.
What was it like returning to Nelson, your hometown, after all those years of being out of Nelson?
Pretty weird at first, but it's been good now getting back in with the guys, with Joe and with Lisa, playing with them again, kind of getting familiar with old friends from high school and all that. So it's quite nice. And now that I'm working various jobs in the horticultural industry around town, it's been good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
You've reconnected with all these people from your youth. That'd be weird.
Yeah, there's definitely been some characters popping out of the woodworks. Literally the woodworks. It's the sticks out there.
Cool, Jace. Well, thanks for chatting with me tonight. Best of luck with the bands and the Heathen Eyes release. And yeah, cheers, man.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for watching.
Hello.